Hi, I couldn't wait to make this video for you guys because I haven't had dreams in a while. Maybe a month ago I had one, but nothing this vivid, nothing this realistic in a while. And I'm thankful for it because, like I told you guys before, if you've been following me, I'm not going to make a video about a dream just to make one. I'm not going to make something up just to have something to tell you. I think I've said in a few of my videos that until the next time, or the next dream that I have, and whenever, or if ever that will be, because I can't tell when I'm going to have a dream, it's not up to me. But this one was so realistic that throughout the day, I had it yesterday morning, it's now October 1st, at 2:17 in the morning, but I had this dream on September 30th. It had to be in the hours of 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. I woke up around 10:15, so um, but it was so vivid that throughout the day, I would I would thought about it all morning, and then towards the afternoon I kind of forgot about it. I said I went to the clinic for about 8 hours, a long day. But every time I would think about the dream, I was like, it felt like I had been there, like I had been somewhere, and it was that type of thought, like when you go on vacation, and you have flashbacks. Oh, we had a nice time, and we went to the pool, or we did this, or we did that, and it was kind of like that, except it wasn't. I can't say it was a nice time, but it just felt like I literally had been there. Very vivid. So with that, I'll jump right in. This topic was not on my mind. I hadn't been researching earthquakes or anything like this in a while now. So I thought it was pretty exciting to see this. Like, I don't know what to make of it, but just listen to what happened. I was in the state of Georgia. I left Georgia and I was in California. It's like a overnight, like a quick trip. You're in one state and the next minute you're in another place. And prior to going to Georgia, I was looking at these homes. I never seen with these homes, and it was like almost like a drone camera was flying over this neighborhood. I saw this really nice house. It was like a bargain basement discount price, and I was thinking, oh, that would be a great deal. It was like a bank loan property, and I said, that'd be a great house for the kids and I. And it was just a one-story, cute, brand new looking, brand new home. It was really nice, and I remember thinking, oh, I wish I could buy that. And I kept thinking, oh yeah, you weren't planning to stay in California. You're planning to move because something about I don't know when the big one's coming. I don't know how bad it's going to be, and I don't want to buy property to have it destroyed. That's what my thoughts were in the dream. I'm not telling you this is not something that happened in real life. These were my thoughts in the dream. So anyhow, I went to Georgia, got back to California. I ended up in Palm Springs, California. I know very well what the city looks like because I've been there many times, and I love to visit there. I love like the Palm Springs, Palm Desert, um, Indian Wells, that whole area, Desert Hot Springs. I love that whole area. Anyhow, I was on the streets. It was cold and windy. It was at night, and it was getting kind of late at night. I don't know why I was there, but I remember trying to get home. I was wrapping something up so that I could get home. And I was in this parking lot. There was a gas station behind me, and like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven store, like next to me. And I wasn't far from a grocery store, like a shopping center. And it's like right, like all within the same area. And there's some nice homes, some decent homes. Not mansions or anything. So there's some really nice homes in Palm Springs. But I was just in a regular part of town, and I was getting in my car, and this lady walked up, and she held up a sign that said, had my name on it, and it said, could you really help my kids and I? Thank you for your help. We really look forward to your support, and thank you for thinking about us. And then she left, and I'm thinking, well, how does she know who I am, and have I helped her before, and like, how does she know I would even help her? And so anyhow, she didn't tell me where she was going, didn't give me a phone number, so I'm thinking, well, how am I supposed to find her if I did want to help her? So I remember going to there's like a fast food place or something with a drive-thru, and it seems like I went and got something to eat, and then ran to the convenience store, and then I was gonna hurry up and try to find like the direction where the lady went, so I could maybe see if I could find her. Maybe she was walking with the kids or something. She had two kids, so I went driving down the street, and I find these condos, and I'm telling you these details because it just seems so real to me. Some people say we'll get to the point already. Well, just follow along. You can skip ahead if you want to. I find these condos, and there was a foundation. I remember seeing a sign that said Marianne, something about Marianne something. And then I was walking up to someone, and they said, oh, you're looking for Marianne. She was looking for you to come and help her. I said, wow, okay. And I said, well, how do I find her? And they said, come with me. And they took me to this house. It's like a two-story house. It's like the main house. And apparently there were a group of people that had, like, done something like a grassroots type thing where they were helping single moms that purchased a bunch of condos. And the main house was like a communal place where they could come and hang out, play games, watch TV, cook if they wanted to. And I remember they were having lasagna for dinner, and I was hungry, and I was thinking, I really got to get home, but I'm hungry. I started talking to the owners, or the people that were running it, and they were telling me about the program. And I remember thinking, well, I'm a single mom, maybe I could ask them for help, about staying here and stuff. And I was going to help Marianne. I said, well, how do I find Marianne? And he said, well, she lives in a unit not far from here. And I remember I was going to go, I think we were going to go meet her that night, or I was just going to come back or something like another time. But I remember looking outside because I was thinking I need to get home. It's dark outside. But all of a sudden, I saw all this, it looked like fog, like white, just like white smoke, or a fog is the best way to describe it. It covered, it wasn't exactly fog though, it was a little different. But it was coming, like covering the whole area. Like I was in the second story. We were elevated a little bit in this place that we were in. But I could see this smoke like fog covering, like coming rapidly and covering up the whole, like ground level where we were. Like I could just picture like the service station and stuff was here, and then these condo units were just down the street, like right about here, behind it. So I'm seeing this fog being cover all the ground like that. And I said, well, there's no way in the world I'm driving home in this fog. It's too scary because I'd be in the desert alone. I said, no, forget it. I'll just stay here. And so I remember in the morning I woke up and I remember looking outside. I said, okay, the smog is gone. It's bright. It's bright. I don't know if it was early. I don't know what time it was, but it was definitely, it was like maybe like close to noon. And so I remember seeing these hills. Like if you've been to Palm Springs, you know the layout of that area. There's like the hills, and then sometimes you have homes built along the hillside or nestled in the hillside or at the base of the hills. And it's really pretty. I love the hills of Palm Springs, but I mean, you might have a shopping center not far from the hills and stuff. I remember looking out of the window. I don't know why I was just fixated with looking out the window, but I kept getting held up. Every time I would try to leave, I was held up talking to somebody. And all of a sudden, I'm looking out the window, and I see all this dust go flying up into the air from the hills. It was weird. It's like the hills, like, I want to say it's like they lifted up or something. They just blew out all this dust. And then I kept seeing like waves of it coming. I said, what in the world? And I was looking, and then all of a sudden, I saw like red flowing, looked like a stream, a red flowing stream coming down. And they said, is that what I think it is? And I said, oh my gosh, I'm sitting there like, look, and the people that were there were other people in this house. They came running over to see what it was that was outside. And I said, it's lava, it's a volcano, it's erupting. And we were like, no way. And then somebody was like trying to get the news on, but we all were trying to look out the window at the lava. And it came so quick, it's like the ground cracked, like where the shopping center was. It's like it was a given that that whole area had just kind of cracked open, the ground had cracked open, and this lava was pouring out up through the ground. And it cracked all the way in front of like where we were, but off, like not directly in front. There was like a asphalt, there was a parking lot, you could see asphalt. There was like a ditch, a big storm drain thing, like, like it was a man-made storm drain ditch thing, and then across from that was like where like these homes, like these apartment homes and things like that. So the ground had cracked across, like under the ditch, and then over to where this parking lot was, and it was going to affect like some units, not directly where we were, but like just past where we were. And I remember seeing the lava on the ground, and I saw what looked like hot boiling water with it. And you could see the water like right above like above it, like alongside of it. It's kind of hard to describe, but I remember thinking, wow, this hot water, and then there's lava. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I saw this in a dream. I said, it came true. I can't believe it. And I was telling the people that were there, I said, I made some YouTube videos about this. I said, I can't believe it really happened. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was going to call my sister, and I have two sisters, but I was going to call my twin and my brothers and tell them. And I remember one of the people in the room was trying to get the news on, but it had just happened, so I knew it wasn't going to be on the news right away, but we knew it was just going to be a matter of time. And I said, this is going to dominate the headlines. I said, who would have ever thought? And everybody was like, oh my gosh. And they're all trying to get on the phone and make calls. And it's like we weren't scared. It was just, it was weird. It was like unbelievable. Like was this really happening? And I remember thinking at that point, I said, oh my gosh, I said, the people that were like in the path of this, where this was coming, I said, there's probably casualties. And we just knew we were all, at some point, we were going to leave the house and go see if we could help. And my kids were with me somehow. They weren't there the night before, but then they were with me. And I remember thinking, well, they were, it seemed like they were with me. I know there were kids in the room. And there's two cute little puppies. But anyhow, we were going to go look and see if we could help people. But one other thing, I saw more, we saw the lava, but then we saw more dust come up like it was still erupting. We saw more dust come up. And then it's like the sky got dark. And I said, wait a minute, I thought it was just daytime. But then it looked like it was nighttime again. And I said, did the sky light up that much that I thought it was daytime? And then I said, why is it so dark? And then I thought about it, it was the volcano. When volcanoes erupt, it does cause, the sky is filled with smoke. It wasn't that tight. Like, I've had a dream where the sky was filled with smoke, and it was those rapid clouds that move, like the ash clouds that move rapidly. I've seen that. And I believe that was Mammoth, the Long Valley caldera that I saw, because it was like to the, I want to say northeast of the San Bernardino mountain range, if you look that up on the map. And that's like the direction of where Mammoth Lakes, is in the Long Valley caldera, which is a super volcano, which they say is Yellowstone's baby sibling, And they say it's not dead, it's definitely alive and well. So anyhow, I've seen that type of an eruption, but this one was different. It was a smaller scale, but it still was an eruption nonetheless. And sorry, I have the worst back pain. I looked in the sun and threw my back out, but anyway, I woke up and I believe, but as the day went on, I thought more and more about the dream of what each part meant. And I thought about it, like, when I saw that smoke cloud thing, I wonder if it was that sulfur that I was seeing. When I was little, my parents were missionaries on the islands, in the West Indies, an island called Montserrat. I was 2 years old, and from our kitchen window in the house that we lived in, my mom would wash dishes, and she told us that she would see the smoke, like the white smoke coming from the volcano, which was called Soufriere Hills or Soufriere Hills. It's Sufrir, I believe is how you spell it. This is what she told us. We could see the smoke coming up, and they had gone up to the volcano, and they said it was like a rotten egg sulfur type smell. You could actually smell it. And that volcano did erupt. I remember she said she used to preach message, like my dad would preach messages, and she would speak to the women, and she would tell them, every time she got up to speak, it was a message of repentance and turn back to God, and like a warning that, just to tell people to cleanse their hearts and prepare their hearts. And that church where my father was a pastor there, they were missionaries, and that church was actually destroyed, and the town of Plymouth, Montserrat, was destroyed by the volcano. It's covered in ash. And another, St. John is another place where they would go up to that church and minister. I believe that town was damaged as well. But the Lord sent them there for a time to speak a message of warning and to preach salvation, a message of Jesus Christ. And so, anyhow, I wonder if that smoke, the sulfur cloud that I saw covering the ground, and I thought it was fog, but it came out of nowhere. And then in the dream I was going to call my brothers, call my sister, and tell them. And I feel like is that me telling you my dream? Like those of you that are Christians, like we call each other brothers and sisters. And then there was another part of the dream. I don't remember what it was, but I'll probably revisit this again. And when I'm more awake, I just took a pain pill for my back, but I must have relaxed it. But this was pretty fascinating. And that's what I was gonna say. When I woke up this morning, and I was trying to focus on the dream. I wanted to do a video about it right away, but I just had enough time to get us ready. But when I went to the pantry to pull out some cereal to make some cereal for breakfast, I looked down and I saw this. I had this little bottle of lemon in there, lemon juice, and on the bottle, I kid you not, look what it says. Volcano lemon bursts backwards, but it says volcano lemon burst. And all I saw, I kid you not, guys, when I looked at this morning was volcano burst. I didn't see the lemon part. Oh my gosh. I just realized this on the picture. There's a picture of a volcano. Look at that. In the background, above the house, there's a volcano. I'm gonna cry right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, scary. Spooky. But I saw this and I said, huh? What are the odds? I had my glasses on, so I know I was seeing it clearly. And the last time this happened, I did a video about, not the Pacific Northwest, that I saw an asteroid hitting the Pacific Ocean in that dream. The areas, when I have dreams about things like this, I clearly see places. I don't always see times and dates and things, but I see places. I see clues as to seasons. Like, I clearly saw the Pacific Northwest. I knew I was in the state of Washington in that dream. I clearly saw the East Coast when I saw the unprecedented storm. I did a video about that coming storm. And I knew I was on the East Coast, like New Jersey, New York State, somewhere, on the East Coast. And I had a dream about a virus outbreak. I was clearly in the San Bernardino Mountains in the campground where the outbreak started. It was spread purposefully by a group of people that had brought it in from another country. Foreigners, they had brought it in and were spreading this. And they blended in with the population like they were just regular citizens, and they weren't. They were going to go to Salt Lake City, Utah next to spread this virus. And then, but I specifically see places. I've had 2 volcanic eruption dreams before. I specifically saw the area of it was northeast, like I say, the San Bernardino Mountains. I specifically saw one with the San Diego, Mexico border. And I did some research a few months ago, and when tonight, earlier before I recorded the first video, which I'm redoing right now, I saw this article. I came across the same article a little while ago. And it says, because I was trying to see are there any volcanoes in the Palm Springs area. It says that there are hot springs. It says desert hot springs and Palm Springs. I'm like, where they get the name? And there are hot springs. And it says that they could have the fact that the water is so hot that could mean that it reached, like there's some surface cracks. Like from the San Andreas Fault, that runs under the Salton Sea, which isn't far from the city of Palm Springs, the desert hot spring. And under the Salton Sea, where the San Andreas Fault starts, there are 5 rhyolitic volcanic domes called the Obsidian Buttes. They're collectively called the Obsidian Buttes, B-U-T-T-E-S. And they rise 100 to 150 feet, according to this article, from the base of the seafloor up. And they are active. They're not extinct. I believe they're not extinct anymore. They're creating mud pots, so they know that there's geothermal activity going on. But they're thinking that this water has reached cracks in the surface created by the San Andreas, that maybe it's reached that part of the earth that heats up the water and has caused these hot springs. There's one hot spring that runs under the city of Palm Springs, and there's another one, I think it's called Agua Caliente, that comes up through desert hot springs. And I've heard of a casino or a resort called Agua Caliente. I've seen the signs for it anyway when I went up to Palm Springs the last time. But I just think it's fascinating. It says that I was trying to find a specific part in the article that said that there doesn't appear to be any volcanic activity in recent times, and it sounded like the Palm Springs area. So I still have to research this some more. My son is asleep. We've had a long day. I think I might stay up a little bit longer and just research it and get some rest, because our days are very, very busy, and I don't have a lot of time. So anyhow, I thought I would just share that with you guys, and I know I kind of hit on this a minute ago. The last time something like this happened, like with this little warning bottle, was when I had recorded a video about I think it was the eruption that I think might be the Long Valley Caldera. Either that one or the San Diego dream. It's called It Overtook Us. That was what the dream was titled when I woke up, that dream. And this dream that I had yesterday morning was like a surprise. It was definitely a surprise. It was an overtaking. It was not. And it wasn't something that caused widespread damage over the state, but it was definitely something different that we never expected. I even told my oldest brother, I saw him yesterday, I told him about the dream. He laughed and said, we don't have any volcanoes in California. There's no volcanoes in this part, Southern California. There's no volcanoes in Palm Springs. And I told him about the Salton Sea and stuff, but anyway. I recorded a video about a volcanic eruption, and Dante's Peak was on TV. Within minutes, I was flipping through the channels, and within minutes, I came across Dante's Peak. And they were talking about it like people not expecting this to happen, but yet the scientist Pierce Brosnan, I believe was the actor, he had come to town and discovered that there were signs of an eruption, and the people in the town didn't believe. Somebody didn't believe it, and but this was really going to happen. It was going to overtake them. So the last time that happened, that movie was on, and either that same day or the next day or that night, I remember my kids were watching the backyard again. This was before my son got sick, and they were. It was an episode called the Volcano Sisters or something like that. And these two characters, Uniqua and Tasha, Tasha's the hip on Uniqua, we're not quite sure what she is, but they were singing this song, and they were singing the eruption is coming, and it's coming soon. So I was like, wow, what are the odds? So I'm not superstitious and I don't believe in things like that, but I just thought, wow, I'm just now seeing this picture. I saw the picture earlier, yesterday morning when I saw the volcano burst, but I thought that was just a picture of a home. I didn't realize, again, that was a picture of a volcano in the background. So, anyhow, it's never too late to give your life to the Lord. As Christians, our job is to preach the message of reconciliation, to come back to the Lord. If you've been with Him and walked away from Him, I was surprised to have this dream because I haven't felt like I've been close to the Lord lately. I felt like I've just been failing and just not where I was in Him. And for Him to speak to me, I believe He spoke to me. I don't know what to make of this dream. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't know. Only the Lord knows. And I just lean on Him and His word is truth, and nothing else. So I'm telling a dream as a dream, and again, it doesn't, the Lord is coming. A lot of people argue about rapture, second coming. I've got comments on my channel about being misguided about the rapture and what you're talking about. But you know what? The fact of the matter is Jesus is coming, and I'm not going to argue with you about doctrine or terminology. I'm just going to simply say this, that Jesus said in His word that I will return, and that I'm coming, and nothing else that we do in this life matters other than what we do for Christ. Every day, if we work to earn millions of dollars or work to earn hundreds of dollars, yes, we have to work, we have to do things to survive day to day, but never lose sight of the goal that nothing else in this world matters except what we do for Christ. And our mission is to lead people to Him and point the way to Him. Blessed are you when you're reviled on, and we're going to be cursed and called a name in the book and called crazy and whatever, holy rollers, whatever. But our job is to point people to Christ, and that's what I have to do with you this evening. Or whenever you find yourself watching this, that He is real, He's alive and well, and He's coming again. And it's never too late to give your life to Him until the moment that you take your last breath. And you don't want to be found outside of Him when He comes, or when your time comes. Because there is a time coming where we're going to stand before Him face to face and give an account for everything that we've done in this life, and whether or not we accepted Him. Someone asked the question once, and Taylor, what did you do with Jesus, with your knowledge of Him? I leave you with that question. What are you going to do with Jesus and knowledge of Him, that He died on the cross for you? And there is no other way to heaven except through Him, through His death on the cross. There is no reincarnation. There is no 10 steps to God. Jesus is the way. He said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No man comes into the Father except by me. So when He says that the day that you hear His voice, do not harden your heart. So I leave you with that, and even myself, I'm examining myself to make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be in Him, so that I'm not a castaway, that I minister the gospel to other people or tell other people about Him, and then I'm lost myself. So I'm going to cut it off. It's 24 minutes, but I believe that this was well worth taking the time. I've had one of these dreams in a while, and I'm very excited about it, about doing the research to see what I found. God bless you guys, and that's how I discovered volcanoes in California, because of these dreams. I never knew, other than like up north, I never knew volcanoes down here. So God bless you guys, peace be with you, and until next time, if I have another dream. I did have a couple old ones that I remembered, and I may share them with you. Very, very interesting about fighting this battle. We're never alone. God is fighting this battle with us. Okay guys, God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Lord willing. Take care.